What's up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name's Dylan Zachary and I'm a music enthusiast and graphic designer. So today we're going to be going over top 5 worst fonts according to Google. I'm going to look up top 5 worst fonts because I'm curious of what it is. I already know Comic Sans is going to be in there, that's for sure. Wingdings? I don't know. It's probably one of my most hated because it makes no sense. Alright, top 5 worst fonts according to Google. What do we got? First up, number 5, Joker Man. Hey look, there's Jesse right there. Shout out Jesse Nyberg on YouTube, another graphic designer. I love watching his videos. I've had a lot of inspiration from him, so shout out Jesse. But anyway, right here we got Joker Man. Go to some images here. Oh yeah. I would definitely consider this probably one of the worst fonts. It kind of looks like something you would see Monsters Inc. use. Maybe like a Disney movie in general. Very playful, kid-like, kind of like Comic Sans, like how it's just cartoony. And I don't really know what you would use this for other than like a kid's movie like Encanto or Lilo and Stitch, Monsters Inc. I don't really know what else you would use Joker Man for. It is ugly as hell. All the bubbles right here and then like these little lines that kind of look like it wants to be some kind of creature or monster. Like what do you do with this? Maybe like kids packaging you put this on. I don't know what you would actually do with this specific font. Would a music artist ever use this font? I don't think so. All the squiggles here don't really match up or kind of have any reasoning. It looks like somebody just closed their eyes and designed it with their eyes closed. Whoever did design it, shout out to them because obviously people use it. I mean, look at here, the Fun Zone. Fun Zone uses it. Wherever this is, the Fun Zone uses Joker Man. But yeah, very kid-like. As a designer, I don't think I would ever use this on any one of my projects. Maybe if I had a kid's project I was working on, whether it be like a toy packaging or, I don't know, maybe designing like a social media strictly for kids, maybe like a Bluey type thing. Yeah, I would definitely rank that number 5 of the worst fonts for sure. I wouldn't know of any everyday designer using Joker Man. Okay, so the 4th font of top 5 fonts according to Google, the 4th font is Curls. Go to images. This instantly gives me like Claire's. Once again, another kids-based font. Why is Google hating on all the kids fonts? I mean, truly, I don't know if I would use this on anything. Yeah, this is kind of giving me like Nightmare Before Christmas kind of vibes. I would use it maybe on like a horror death metal album or something along those nature. Maybe like a Slayer kind of vibe. Yeah, it's got the curly cues, it's got the serifs, like a Claire's or like Nightmare Before Christmas. It's got like a very horror vibe to it, but I don't know. It would take us very specific, like a claymation kind of film to make me want to use this kind of type on a film or poster, like a horror poster. Like I said, I probably could see myself using this maybe on like a poster for like a death metal band or somebody who's like more on the horror side of music. Even like something like Claire's is very questionable. Like here with the pink, it kind of makes it more like female friendly, more childlike that way. But when I see like something, when I see it in black like this, or even like this, I see Nightmare Before Christmas kind of vibes, and maybe like death metal horror, something like that. Maybe I could do a poster based on that. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I would definitely, I don't know if I would rank this in number 4 if I was to make my own top 5, but I mean, apparently Google is like, Curls is not it. So 4th worst on the list is Curls. Going to the next one, we got Brush Script. Here we go. So Brush Script is used a lot. This is like, when I think of Brush Script, I think of like Turkish cafes and really just cheaply made menus. That's kind of what my brain goes to. For some reason, I don't know why I think of like Turkish cafes. I guess most places I see like a Brush Script usually have like a really crappy menu involved, really terrible logo based stuff on the front of their stores and their advertising. Use brush type script. I would only use Brush Script, maybe advertising to like sip and paints. I would use a brush type script. Maybe like advertising a craft fair, I'd use a brush type script, but there's not many things I would use this specific brush script on. A lot of these people, like this isn't even the correct brush script right here with this simple brush. It's definitely different. Like this is like a very Hobby Lobby type, just live, laugh, love script. Not the same exact brush script as you would see up here, which is what I think Google is referencing. Yeah, I don't really know. Like I said, maybe like a craft show or something like that. I would definitely put that at like 3, maybe 2 or 3, but Google has has it at 3, so we're gonna rock with that. That's what it is. That's the third worst font. That's a tough one, man. At least the other ones I could kind of put in a category like kids or whimsical and like keep it in the kid category, but that one is just, it's not even good enough to put on Hobby Lobby, like, you know, knickknacks and stuff like that. It doesn't have a flow to it really. It's just brush script and there's no like flow with it. So next up on the top 5 worst Google recommended fonts is Papyrus, and I already agree with this. Automatically makes me think of Roman times, ancient Egypt type stuff. Chisel, stone. Papyrus is just, it could be used in a cool context, especially musically. I could see it used as like an indie type band, maybe like a shoegaze, using papyrus with a really cool brownish haloed glow of like a silhouette of some trees and maybe like a mountain in the background. I could see papyrus used on there. I could see Creed using papyrus like back in the early 2000-ish era of like Human Clay or something like that. This is a really popular one, Avatar, that uses papyrus with the blue glow behind it and the white font. That's really the only thing I can even think of besides like ancient times is Avatar. I can't think of anything else that would really utilize papyrus the way it is. It's just not a great font. I do like the rugged and worn out look of papyrus. Out of all the fonts that Google ranked so far, I could definitely see myself using this before any of the other ones. Just the rustic, broken factor to it. But honestly, Avatar kind of ruins it for me. I don't know. It's one of those fonts that anytime you have it on anything, whether it be an album cover or a poster or a website, if people see it in a specific fashion, especially with blue anywhere near the type, people are automatically going to think Avatar. And that's like kind of a bad thing when you're trying to advertise and utilize this font in something fresh and new. That's the bad thing, is that Avatar has this specific font in a chokehold. Papyrus and Avatar are like, you know, they're related at this point. So that's the downside to Papyrus. But other than that, I don't really know if I like it. Is it the second worst font? I don't know. I would definitely have it at probably 5 for me if I was to rank it. Google has it as number 2 worst font, so apparently everybody hates Papyrus. That's the second worst font according to Google. So the top most hated font is an absolute given. Everybody can't stand this font. I feel like this font has been hated since its inception, and that font is Comic Sans. Microsoft designer Vincent Conair, hopefully I said that correct, created Comic Sans in 1994, and which is crazy because I feel like Comic Sans has been out way longer than that. Inspiration was by the comic book lettering and speech bubbles in Microsoft's Bob software, where he felt the formal Times New Roman was out of place, which I could understand that. Why would you use Times New Roman when trying to emphasize and make comic book scene or action more exciting? So I could see that definitely being a reason why you'd want to create it. The criticism against Comic Sans. The vast majority of graphic and type designers dislike Comic Sans for its association with unprofessionalism and lack of typographical forethought. Inappropriate use. The primary complaint is the frequent use in context far outside its intended purpose, which is true. I mean, you don't want to put any Comic Sans on any serious documents or business signs or anything of that nature unless you're selling comic books or figurines or action figures or anything of that nature. Comic Sans could probably be used for. I could definitely ration with the fact that that's why people hate it the most, is because it just doesn't fit usually unless it's in a comic book. This is your standard Comic Sans type right here, where you got a speech bubble and usually it says kapow or punch or something of that nature. You see it in like Superman comics, you see it in Batman comics, you see it any Marvel related thing. Comic Cons all the time use Comic Sans, which is appropriate, so I can't really hate on that. That's the only place that it fits, is somewhere in that narrative, and I guess that's why Comic Sans kind of blows, is because of the fact that you can only use it in such a specific light, kind of like all the other ones, how the other ones are very kid-based and everything. Papyrus, I don't really know if I would have put it in the second worst, because I feel like I could use it in specific instances. But yeah, Comic Sans, I've hated Comic Sans since I've been a kid, before I even was into graphic design. Comic Sans has always been known to be one of the worst ones up there, like I said, next to Wingdings. Nobody uses that, so I don't even know why it's offered in most softwares. Comic Sans most number 1 hated typeface for as long as I can remember, and clearly it's number 1 in Google's top 5 worst fonts. Comic Sans continues to be the reigning champ. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Something a little different, the top 5 worst fonts according to Google, and I agree with most. Other than Papyrus, I would probably put that at like 5, and maybe if I did some digging, I would probably change that up and probably put something else in Papyrus's spot, because I feel like I could utilize that in some instances. You just got that Avatar backing to it, so you don't want to use blue anywhere near around that font. But yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and comment. It helps out so much to a small-time creator like myself. Yeah, with that being said, thank you guys so much for checking this video out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.